And we're back, ready to hunt down Nergigante after I do some mining.
Most important thing, get that mining done.
So, on the topic that we had left on the previous episode of every game with multiplayer has a worse single player because of it. Let's use an example of a game that had good both, and I feel like Halo 2 fits that example. Wouldn't it have been better? And so this is the thing about it's difficult for. All right, I got triple up.
Bam.
It's difficult because you can't really ever judge the side-by-side of things because nothing, no two games are the same.
Yeah.
So an example that I would use is not BioShock, because those were two different teams that made those games. But the first one was received way better. And
You have like BioShock vs. Halo?
no.
Oh.
A game that I'm pretty sure you haven't played called Condemned: Criminal Origins.
Nope, I have not.
It was a launch title for the 360. It was just amazing. But there was a sequel that was made, and it had multiplayer, whereas the first one did not have multiplayer.
Okay.
He's chasing me. I'm just going to fucking run around. Because I feel like that's my responsibility as the one that he is currently paying attention to. So, I got the power on the first one. Ooh, that swing was not what I wanted to do. The second game, how the first player worked, absolutely felt different. So, he just threw fucking spikes. So it just felt way different. It didn't have the same, all that story in there. It didn't have a whole bunch of stuff. And it was unfortunate because I absolutely loved the first game. It was amazing. And I was very happy with the fact that they decided to make a sequel out of it. So, there's one thing where you can kind of put them side by side, but at the same time, no two games are the same. The same people wouldn't have been working on it. The same people wouldn't have been working on different departments of it.
Right.
All that sort of stuff that goes into that stuff. This group is doing well. I'm very happy. This is my story quest. I'm very fucking hopeful that we go ahead and beat it. Oh.
Rip.
Then that happens.
You just got friggin' slammed
I got
by a
fucking
bot.
planted.
And I think he wants you. Or he's going somewhere.
Yeah. Good. I didn't die. I'm happy about that.
But even if you look at something like Halo 2.
So Halo 2 that's the question. Think about Halo 2 without the multiplayer.
Right.
How many more story missions would there have been? Would there have been some sort of an in-game content type thing? Especially since there was online.
Although that was pretty early yet for the online stuff.
Well, I'm not saying make it like Destiny.
Yeah, I don't know if you would have necessarily seen, although maybe. I know people at Bungie had already begun thinking about things like that. But whether it would was WoW even out yet when Halo 2 came out? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think Warcraft came out in 2004 or 5.
Destiny
Shit.
or Halo 2 was 2000 what? 2004.
No,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not saying try to make it like that.
No,
but...
yeah, no. But I know what you're saying though, because it would have had to have been something more robust, right? Because as much as the single player on Halo 2 or Halo 3 or even Halo Reach, those were I enjoyed them immensely. And I would even go back and replay them. They definitely were not the kind of thing that gets you to buy a $60 title.
No, asking this question about that game in particular is starting to make me think. Oh, fuck.
Oh, you got spiked.
Would it have been better if maybe it had multiplayer, but it was all PvE multiplayer? Where it didn't have PvP, which is actually the question I had asked in the first place.
Right.
Games are worse with PvP.
PvP. Because, like, that, and actually Star Wars is, like, that's, I think that's probably why when I brought the Star Wars example, you thought it wasn't maybe necessarily a fair thing, because we weren't talking single player anymore. We're talking pretty much just
No. It was
PvE,
specifically
PvP.
the weapon balancing thing. But then I thought, well, no, it's not so much that it's not fair. It's just that that's absolutely another aspect of why this is true. So, then I corrected. All right, triple buff, but I don't know how long it's going to last. I think getting the triple buff kind of refreshes. Didn't he fucking...
Oh. Did he what?
I thought he went down that way or over that way, and then all of a sudden he's back where he was.
But, like,
And then I just thought, no, that's just another aspect of why it's bad. So...
Right. So, like, because, like, that's... I mean, one of the big disappointments I had with Destiny, or Halo 2, I mean, actually was that fact that when you did the campaign co-op, it was still just 2 players. And did they change that for... They did change that for Halo 3. Halo 3
They did, because I remember
before.
there being 2 different... They specified...
You were, Master Chief, then you had the Arbiter, and then you had, like, 2 other elites.
Yeah, and they gave them names.
The Engineer and... I don't remember the other one, but yeah. But, like, and, like, I mean, I love the 4-player co-op. Like, we had a ton of fun with that, just going through, you know, the missions and stuff. But, I mean, it was, you know, it was still pretty basic gameplay, though, right? There wasn't a whole lot of depth or even necessarily replayability to it. So, again, right, like, it's because the core of the Halo games, though, was, you know, in the PvP matchmaking. And so, from that respect, like, Halo as a PvE game, obviously, very thin, because that's just not what their vision was. And that's, I think, you know, part of the problem is when you get these games like Destiny, which are like, well, we're both, right? Like, I mean, Halo, and even to this day, I think Halo 5 still embraces the fact that it's a PvP game. Like, they might try and come up with a good
definitely.
campaign.
Yeah, but especially Halo 5.
Yeah.
That pissed me off so much.
But it is just a PvP game. And, like, so, like, Destiny, you know, that's their vision is, it's both. And it's, I mean, it's ambitious. I'll give them that. It's tough to do, though. As evidenced by the fact of it is tough to do. And,
oh, you shit.
Oh, you're getting hammered. But, like, I know, like, if you talk about Destiny 2 with me, you're going to get a perspective you won't find on the internet too often, which is, I actually liked the game. And some of the changes they made, I actually liked too. And the funny part is, because some of those changes were meant to balance PvP, but I think they even helped make PvE a bit more fun, personally. But I'm a kind of crazy guy that whenever I played PvP, I was always kind of annoyed that I had to bust out, like, sniper rifles to do, like, great damage and stuff. And I always was just dreaming of the day I could equip Hung Jury and my Hard Light at the same time. Now, granted, I can't do that still because Amalon's guns are always energy guns. But although I've actually, with the Curse of Osiris, I've kind of fallen in love with a couple of the Prophecy guns. So, but like I really like to be able to have like a scout and an auto rifle, like having those two being able to equip those two is even in PvE content. Like,
shit,
I really enjoy that aspect. But, you know, I know some people hate it though, because like, you know, the slower cooldowns on your abilities and stuff, they did that because of PvP balance, but it has, you know, a negative effect on PvE.
I mean, fucking everything they did.
Yeah, no, I mean, they took the approach that we're going to balance this from a PvP perspective first, and then we'll try and give it a good PvE. And it's like, Halo worked, but like, if
I got his tail.
Halo, you did? That.
He's probably pissed at me now.
Oh my goodness. They're all like little lizards.
Oh, he's limping away. Fuck yes. I'm so happy with this group.
I lost my train of thought. That's alright though. I think I'm probably just saying the same thing over again anyways.
I wasn't going to say anything. But no, I mean, we're kind of restating the same point because it just keeps coming up over and over again. And I just feel like every game could be better.
If they focused.
If they just did not have PvP. just didn't. So that's. But at the same time, again, you'll never know unless you have two. Even if you have two identically sized companies and so on, and they're all fuck me.
Unless you had a company like Bungie go like, all right, we're making Destiny 3, and then we're making Destiny 3 Crucible, and they're two separate titles. One is the PvP version of the game, and one isn't.
Yes, there's a solution. Just make two separate games entirely.
Like, I mean, yeah. So, you know, there are ways that you can try and bridge the gap, but it usually involves saying, like, almost doing that though, almost like having two separate games inside one game, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, again, if you had taken those PvP people,
right, there's
and
development
put them toward
resources.
the PvE,
yeah,
it's a zero-sum thing. There's development time, development resources, development people, development know-how, all of that stuff that can be put into.
Are you picking up footprints?
Picking up the ground and sniffing it, I think, is what she's doing.
Oh, okay.
He might be crawling off to his. So most monsters will. They'll find a final spot.
Oh, okay.
To fight. So
The
anyway,
nest.
We will see next time. But for now, we are done talking.
Adios.